So one simple explanation would be this crosslink, as you can see, points towards the rear axle, and as it goes through its travel, it remains in line.
Still pointing the axle.
Yeah, so that's always counteracting the chain force.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the slider is pushing against the rider weight. So you have those two forces that balance each other out. That's the very simple explanation. So up to now, most bikes are basically designed around a motorcycle suspension, and motorcycles weigh about 3 to 4 times the rider weight. So that's why there's so much damping. But on a bicycle, on the other hand, the rider weighs 8 times as much as the bike, so it's like totally the opposite. And the big thing about that is that bicycle suspension has advanced, with anti-squat, and there is rider weight considered in bicycle suspension, but not that much. And that's one reason there's so much damping. Like, shocks are very sophisticated nowadays. They use a lot of fancy valving, high speed, low speed compression and rebound. And this bike uses 40% less.
Damping?
Yes. And what I say to that is, damping is slowing the suspension down. It's restricting the suspension. And that in itself is inefficiency. This kinematic, the physics of this bike is designed more around the rider weight. Like I said, more modern suspension bikes do consider the rider weight to some degree. But this takes it a step further. When you're riding, your weight's going forward, it's going back, there's also the inertia. When you accelerate, your weight goes
More
backwards.
sags,
Yeah, so the bike wants to sag. When you brake, the bike wants to dive. So this kinematic is more like, the best way to explain it would be like a teeter-totter, right? So as you are accelerating and decelerating, and there's that inertia going on, so when you are accelerating, it wants to go this way, so it keeps it balanced. When you decelerate, it wants to do that. And that's where it gets complicated. As you can see, the mechanism, there's not a lot to it. I mean, we call this the crosslink, and then there's the slider. This slider total moves about for the parts themselves. This slider is basically almost the same as a motorcycle fork slider. It uses the same seals, the same bushings. What's nice is it's pointed downwards, so it's less likely to have contamination going in it. We've been saying you can service it every 50 hours, but obviously that depends on your conditions. And it takes a little bit of shock oil inside, so you can just basically remove this, pulls out, unscrew that, clean it out. Pretty simple.